Hi, I'm Elle, and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about the part 2 or the book 2 of the Hunger Games trilogy, which is entitled Catching Fire. And again, this is my bears, my little cutie Carmilla, and my adorable big bear Alice. So, um, today I'm going to be discussing the book 2 of the trilogy, Catching Fire. So, Catching Fire is more, for me, it's more scarier than the Hunger Games or the first book of the trilogy. For me, Catching Fire is more um scary because this is supposed to be the time or supposed to be the era in Katniss and Pita's life wherein they're going to be safe for the rest of their lives. Kasi nga, 'di ba? Ano, panalo na nila ang games. So supposedly that's the end of it. Um they're just going to mentor the the next tributes wherein kay Katniss hindi rin niya maisip na paano siya magme-mentor. But kaya parang natakot siya na sa 75th hindi niya alam kung anong gagawin niya. So Catching Fire started on the day of the victory tour. So dumalaw si President Snow kina Katniss, and she asked Katniss, or he told Katniss na yung stunt niya sa berries is nakita ng mga taga-districts as an act of rebellion. So kasi sa games, nagkaroon ng parang tactic si Katniss na kung saan ipapakita niya na in love siya kay Pita para uh, pumasok dumagsa ang sponsors para sa kanila. So, for the first time in the games, nagkaroon ng parang love story inside the arena, which is, kumbaga pinaniwalaan ng Capitol na yung act ni Katniss ng paglabas niya ng poison berries at kakain nila ng sabay yun, it's like, for the Capitol citizens, it's a declaration of love. Like, it's like Katniss saying na, I'd rather face death with you than live a life without you. Parang ganon. But some of the citizens of the districts and President Snow himself does not believe na yun yung parang reason ni Katniss bakit niya nilabas yun. For them, subconsciously, Katniss is rebelling against the Capitol. So, unknowingly, Katniss become the face of a supposed rebellion na nagbubrew sa districts. So, ang balak sana is i-diffuse ang fire sa mga districts. However, napansin ni Katniss in every district na pupuntahan nila, they are not putting the fire down. It's like they're adding fuel to the fire. So, hindi alam ni Katniss kung paano siya i-diffuse. Like, parang, yes, I started it, but even I don't know how I started it. And meron pa nga sinabi si Katniss during the encounter with President Snow, like, the peace must be a fragile thing if a handful of berries can shake it. And that's what I like about these books. It's giving off lines. It's na very powerful. Like, you're going to read it once, and then it's going to be stuck in your head. Like, you don't know kung gaano ka, like, for the first time that you're reading it, you don't know or you can't comprehend that it has a deeper meaning into it. But it's a very potent na hindi siya basta-bastang matatanggal sa mind mo. And rereading it, you can slowly uncover some of the thoughts in the lines. Like, yeah, peace is really a fragile thing. Why? Because humans have this instinct for self-preservation. Like, for example, you're from the districts and the capital is It's like full of richness. And then guys sa district nagsastarve. If there's one flicker of fire na magpapakita na pwede kayong kumawala sa sitwasyon, then you're going to grab it. So it's like an instinct to fight for freedom. And yun yung parang sinimula ni Katniss na hindi niya alam, wala siyang kaalam-alam, subconsciously. Consciously, ang gusto lang niya makauwi sila ni Pita. But, even in her own head, kasi nga naman, paano niya malalaman? She's just 16, 17 years old. So, parang napakalaki nung concept para sa kanya. Pero alam na niya, sa sarili niya na parang, ang weak naman ng piece na yan, if a handful of poison berries can shake it. President Snow what Katniss to do is to convince the people and to convince him na kaya niya nilabas yung berries na yun is out of love and not out of rebellion. So, yun din yung bagay na hindi rin kayang gawin ni Katniss until they get to the point na, okay, let's get married since kahit anong mangyari, pagkalipas mo ng 75th, 76th, 78th, 77th, 79th, 80th Hunger Games, hahanapin tayo ng mga tao, titingnan nila kung ano nangyari sa atin. Why not let's just get married? And then, Pita proposed to Katniss publicly. And then, alam mo yun, parang sa book kasi pinakita doon na hindi na convince ni Katniss Snow na although ikakasal na sila kasi engaged na nga sila, diba? Hindi pa rin na-convince ni Katniss Snow dun sa love. So, meaning to say, there's still some people in the districts na hindi rin convinced doon sa parang show na pinalabas na Katniss. So, ito nga kasi ang problema. Sabi ko sa first video ko about this wonderful trilogy. Katniss is very set in her ways. Hindi siya magpapalit ng personality to accommodate President Snow or to accommodate people. So, there are times na kaya affected ang tao kay Katniss because Katniss is so real. Like, kapag ginawa niya isang bagay na talagang gusto niyang gawin, like, out of her own will, ginawa niya, affected ang tao. Na-attract ang tao sa ginagawa niya. But if she is forced to perform, kasi she was forced to perform in this scenario kasi parang, kapag di mo nagawa, okay, sige, papatayin ko yung pamilya mo, parang something like that. May threat. So, she was forced to perform and it doesn't affect the people at all. Why? Because it is evident na hindi yun natural. Kumbaga parang napipilitan lang sila or siya. So, and that's how people affects us sometimes. When they do things that it's calculated, like, wait a minute. Alam mo, instinctively, alam natin. And they instinctively knows that it's like Katniss is being forced to do these things. So, parang hindi effective yung ginawa nila. But although, President Snow and people in the district doesn't believe in the love na pinapakita ni Katniss, although kay Pita totoo yun mahal naman magmaya si Katniss na hindi totoo yung love na pinapakita ni Katniss, is tinutuloy pa nila yung wedding. Kasi para ma-distract ng Capitol citizens. Kasi yung Capitol citizens naman, they're very naive. So they believe in the story of Katniss and Pita. So parang gusto nilang ituloy yung wedding for the capital citizen. So at least kung hindi man makuha ang district, the 12 districts, then they can get the capital citizen. So nga naman, bawas nga naman yung sa magiging kalaban nila. So, however, because of, in the eyes of President Snow, Katniss is a threat to his to his reign, perhaps, or to the peace, um, inistriktuhan niya bigla ang District 12. So, before ang District 12, although may mga peacekeepers, they are very friendly. So, now, nagpalit ng, ng mga peacekeepers and sila naman mga brutal peacekeepers. So, nagsimula na yung mga atrocities sa District 12 na mas malala pa sa naranasan nila dati. Kasi dati naman ang mga peacekeepers sa kanila is mabait. So, like, Katniss can hunt. Sila pa nga yung best customers ni Katniss eh. But this time, since President Snow thinks that Katniss is a threat to his reign, or to the peace that he's holding, parang in-enforce niya yung peacekeepers dun sa place na they are strict and it's not actually borderline brutal, but really brutal. Kasi nga, yung hunter din ng kaibigan ni Katniss, si Gale, is nahuli siya na merong hawak na turkey. Turkey or goose? Parang wild turkey ata. So, kasi ang poaching bawal sa Panem. As in, bawal din sa Panem. Doon nga sila nabuhay for how many years, and because peacekeepers before are okay. Kasi walang notice na magpapalit ng peacekeepers. So, nahuli na unaware si Gale. So, he was whipped in the district square. And Katniss, Haymitch, and Peeta tried to stop it. Actually, I'm very, what do you call this? I was laughing when I get to the part where Haymitch stop or arrive in the scene of the whipping. So, meron dito eh. Basahin ko sa inyo. Kasi dito may photoshoot si Katniss sana. Mag-model siya ng mga wedding dresses. So, ganito. Hold it, a voice barks. Haymitch appears and trips over a peacekeeper lying on the ground. It's Darius. A huge purple lamp pushes through the red hair on his forehead. He's knocked out but still breathing. What happened? Did he try to come to Gale's aid before I got here, I'm sorry. Haymitch ignores him and pulls me to my feet, roughly. Kasi to eh, natamaan ng whip yung mukha ni Katniss. Kasi pipigilan niya sana na i-whip ulit si Gale. Ang nangyari, siya ang natamaan ng whip. So, oh, excellent. His hand locks under my chin, lifting it. She's got a photo shoot next week, modeling wedding dresses. What am I supposed to tell her stylist? I see a flicker of recognition in the eyes of the man with the whip. Bundled against the cold, my free face of makeup, my braid tucked carelessly under my coat, it wouldn't be easy to identify me as the victor of the last Hunger Games, especially with half my face swelling up. But Haymitch has been showing up on television for years, and he'd be difficult to forget. The man rests the whip on his hip. She interrupted the punishment of a confessed criminal. Everything about this man, blah 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 blah. Okay. So, ito yung part. Diba sabi nung peacekeeper na to is, she interrupted the punishment of a confessed criminal. Here's what Haymitch has to say. I don't care if she blew up the blasted Justice building. Look at her cheek. Think that will be camera ready in a week? Haymitch snarls. The man's voice is still cold, but I can detect a slight edge of doubt. That's not my problem. No? Well, it's about to be, my friend. The first call I make when I get home is to the Capitol, says Haymitch. Find out who authorized you to mess up my Victor's pretty little face. So, yeah. In this part, it is very apparent that the victors of the District 12 can stand up for its citizens, even for a brief time. Kasi kung hindi dumating dun si Katniss, si Peeta at si Haymitch, most probably, mamamatay si Gale sa whipping. So, ayun. Medyo natawa ako ng konti sa part na yun. Kasi, it's a very serious book. The tone is very serious. And then you have this particular scene na very serious. But then here comes Haymitch na papatawanin ka niya sa dark humor niya. So, yun. I just have to share that because I really find it so funny and very clever. It's cleverly a stitch. Alam mo yung parang pinapakita na dun na the victors of the districts are no longer important for the capital. It's like they're almost disposable. Later on, I will tell you why. So, nito na si Katniss that they, as the victors of District 12, can stand up for its people even for a brief time. However, because of this particular incident, I think nagkaroon ng drive lalo si Snow na i-eliminate si Katniss. Actually, if you're going to find this scene on the movie of the Catching Fire, it's different. Like, Haymitch is not that like authoritative. Mas mellow siya. Pero pinakita doon yung sinasabi ko na it feels like the victors are already disposable for the capital. Kasi may part na sinabi, parang ayaw kasing ibaba. Nakatuto kasi yung barel nung peacekeeper doon sa tatlong victors. So, parang may sinabi doon sa Haymitch na, what? Do you want 3 dead victors here? Because that's what I am seeing here. So parang it gives you the hint that the movie or the book, though it is dark already, it will get darker. And then like for a few weeks after this incident, the Quarter Quell was announced. So what is a Quarter Quell? Quarter Quell is like a special games that happens every 25 years. So it marks that every 25 years of the games, and every Quarter Quell, meron silang iba't ibang pakulong ginagawa. So like for example, on the first Quarter Quell, the 25th Hunger Games, ang ginawa nila is instead of reaping, pagbobotohan ng house ng mga citizens ng district kung sino ang papadala nilang tribute. Sa 50th, twice the number of tributes ang ipapadala ng bawat district sa games. So like for the District 12, there will be 4 tributes. It will be 2 boys and 2 girls. So overall, there will be 48 tributes to compete on the crown, and that's the year that Haymitch won. So in the 75th Hunger Games, the 75th Hunger Games is a controversial one. Like, when I was reading the book, it happened so fast inside the games. Like, is this really a game? Because sa first book, like 75% of the book is dedicated to games. But this time, like parang wala pang 50%. Ang bilis na So the Quarter Quell, ang sabi dun is to prove that the strongest among the district cannot thwart the will of the capital. The tributes will be reaped in the existing pool of victors. So in District 12, like there's only 3 living victors. Like it's Haymitch, it's Peeta, and it's Katniss. So for the girls, for the ladies, matik na si Katniss ay babalik sa games. So imagine, you are already set up on the life na I will mentor a tribute year after year. Like I will going to lead them to slaughter. And then suddenly, you're going to the games yourself. At least sa boys, merong 50-50 chance it will be Peeta and Haymitch. So, this time, Katniss talked to Haymitch and saying that um, this time we're going to save Pita. In the games, you're going to save Pita. If Pita's name was called in the reaping, you're going to step up for him. You're going to volunteer. However, in the reaping, ang na-reap na name is si Haymitch. So, nag-volunteer si Pita to take his place. And it's quite a historical moment in District 12 because it's the second year na merong nag-volunteer sa games. Kasi para sana pag nasa games ka, it's like a matic na burial. Parang namatay ka na kaagad. So, it's like the second time na may nag-volunteer sa games. Unlike sa ibang district na like every year may nag-volunteer. Sa kanila, it's just the second time. So, imagine the Capitol's brightest stars. Galing yung kay Caesar Flickerman. The Capitol's brightest stars are going to compete for one crown. Like 24 of the victors, beloved victors of the Capitol, are going to kill each other in the arena to be a victor again. So it's quite a glory because you won your first games and then you're going to win a victor's Hunger Games. And medyo emotional to para sa mga taga-Capitol kasi attached sila sa mga victors nila. So again, they were prepped. Same, may prepping time, merong tributes parade, merong assessment, merong the usual. So here, pinakita sa atin yung mga sikat na mga victors sa Capitol. Like yung magkapatid sa District 1, si BT, si Finnick Odair. Like, when I first read about Finnick Odair, it's like, I don't like his guts. Or maybe because I'm reading inside Katniss' head. But I don't like his guts. But when I watch the Catching Fire, it's like, like, damn, that's Finnick. Like, he's so cool. Like, parang wala siya sa games eh. Parang wala siya sa games. Parang ano lang siya, parang chill. Ganun. So cute. Tapos syempre si Napita, si Joanna Mason. Actually, marami pa. 24 na sila. So, ang hirap sa, mabuti ka ng Katniss, hindi mahirap kasi bagong pasok pa lang sa sisterhood, sa brotherhood ng victors. Pero para sa iba kasi, magkakilala sila ng ilang taon. So, parang, and then now, you're going to kill each other. Like, it's parang mahirap. But then again, now, on the presentation of victors, parang, at the disadvantage sila. I mean, di ba, may the odds be ever in your favor? Parang sa disadvantage sila kasi, and, like Finnick, ang daming may gusto sa kanya. So, most probably, siya ang bibigyan ng maraming sponsor. So, it's difficult to pull out or to pull up the sponsors to their advantage again, unlike the first games. So, again, they shined under Portia's and Sina's expertise. So, now sabi ni Sina, kasi nung sa first games, parang, be as friendly as you can. Now, pretend that the audience is beneath you. Like, you're a man because you've been through so much and then you only reap like a small portion of supposedly your winnings. Parang ganon. And again, they stole the tributes parade. Natuwa ako dun sa sa movie version niya. Kasi parang sabi ni Sina doon, pretend that the audience are beneath you. So, tapos parang tingin ni Katniss dun kay Snow na parang beneath lang sa kanya si Snow. So, parang, another rebellious streak of Katniss. So consistent yung mga ginagawa ni Katniss. Tapos, okay. This time, of course, meron na namang assessment day. Pita and Katniss pulled a score of 12, and that's unattainably high. So, another target on their backs. Actually, sinabihan sila ng mentor nila na maghanap ng mga allies. Pero ayaw ni Katniss. Parang si Mags ang yung gusto niya. And that's, Mags like 7, like, Mags is old, like 50s, 60s. And, ayun. So there's again the interview. And the Capitol's people are wrecked. Because the victors are trying to say things na um, kung saan maaaring mapigil yung games. And then, Katniss wore a bridal gown. Yun yung bridal gown na ginawa ni Sina, dinesign ni Sina for her. Yun yung nanalo sa, sa parang pinaselect yung Capitol ng magandang wedding gown kay Katniss. Then, yun yung sabi ni President Nona, ipasuot kay Katniss. But then, Sina made alterations to the dress. So, after the interview, pinaikot si Katniss and then unti-unting nasunog yung dress. And Katniss was transformed into a Mockingjay. A Mockingjay, yun yung pin din ni Katniss sa parang token niya from her district. But also, a Mockingjay is a crossbreed between a local songbird, which is a mockingbird, and a Capitol's mutation, which is called Jabberjays. So, ginamit na kasi sa war yun. The Jabberjays will be further discussed in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snake discussion. Baka hindi ko naman mapagkasya dito yung mga information. Sorry. And then, like, for the Capitol people, it's just Sina's creativity. Like, and also an embodiment of Katniss' spin. But for some of the rebels in the district, since Mockingjay is already their like symbol or logo for the rebellion, it's like they're seeing Katniss being the personification of Mockingjay. So, ayun. Alam na natin, after this, may mamamatay. And it's Sina. So, after Katniss' interview, here comes our wordsmith, which is Pita Millar. And in the book, as I'm reading the book, sabi doon ni Katniss, it's like parang very parang very fidgety, parang engage sa iba ang concentration ni Pita. And then Cesar Flickerman said that how does it feel na parang hindi na matutuloy yung kasal niyo ni Katniss? And then Pita said that they're already married in secret, but in reality they are not. And then sabi ni Cesar, oh well, at least you get to spend even a small time with each other, blah blah blah. Alam mo yun, yung parang mga consolation na wala namang parang silbi. Kasi, how can you console someone who's going to face death? Like, it's not it's like, and no, actually, it's not death, but murder. They're going to face like a slaughterhouse. Parang hindi, alam mo yun? Parang, I can articulate there, but how can you console someone who's going to face death at the hands of people that are supposedly are going to face death in a game devised by people? Like, they see your death as an entertainment. How can you console someone like that? So, and then Pita said that I should be like thankful for the little time that we have, but I can't say I'm thankful because of the baby. So, alam mo yun, parang boo, bigla naman siyang may pinasabog na information sa Capitol that caused the citizens of the Capitol to go berserk. And then they held the tributes from different districts held hands. So it's the first time that it's like there's a unity in in the districts, and it was represented by the um the victors that's going in the games. So here comes the actual Hunger Games, the quarter quell. Si Haymitch, hindi siya pumayag na walang uh, ally si Katniss. So, siya ang pumili. And, pinili niya si Finnick and si Joanna Mason. So, District 5 and District 7. So, again, alam mo yun, Slaughterhouse. And it's fast-paced. Like, in 3 days, 16 tributes are already dead. It's a very fast-paced. And then, I don't know, there's too much happening in the arena that even I cannot, even in rereading it, it's like very fast-paced na hindi ko din like, sino namatay, anong nangyari ulit, parang, kahit ako nalilito. So, there's many things that happen in the arena. So, parang sabi nga ni Katniss doon, parang, pinapabilis nga din ng Capitol ang mga pangyayari. Ang daming traps doon, like every hour there's a new horror. It's like hindi lang yung victors ang papatay sa iyo, but also the horrors devised by the game makers. So, I'm not going to further elaborate what happened on the arena. I'm just going to skip on the end. Wherein the games ended when Katniss fired an arrow at a force field, destroying the arena. So, I believe naman kung nakita niyo tong video na to is because you search for Hunger Games or The Catching Fire. So, I don't have to elaborate what happened on the game. So, and then, we now know at the end that it's all part of a rebel plan. Katniss was saved together with Beetee and Finnick, but Peeta was left in the capital. So, okay. Sabi ko kanina is very dark ang Catching Fire. It's darker in the Hunger Games. Why? Because here, in the Catching Fire, we're now seeing someone in power, someone in authority that's like doing what he can to destroy what he sees as a threat. Well, actually, we're not new to that. Kasi if we're going back to our history, we see multiple like scenarios that embodies that, and I'm not going to narrate it or summarize it. Alam niyo na yon kung nag naman kayo ng history, kung nagbabasa naman kayo sa history or may alam kayo sa history, catch nyo na yon. So, and also, it's like this man is abusing his power. Like, of course, although the games are devised like 75 years ago, he's the one's running it now. There's a speculation also that the 75th Hunger Games is not supposed to be a victor's Hunger Games. Kasi nga, na parang stipulated na kapag nanalo ka, safe ka na for the rest of your life. And it's also just too perfect of a coincidence na may problema sila sa isang victor, and now they are pitting victors against each other. Like, it's a perfect opportunity to get rid of Katniss. So, yun. And also, in Hunger Games, at least, the victors are representing hope. It's representing hope that, like, for example, kahit gano'ng kahirap ang pinagdaanan mo sa games, you still won. And it's like you're saying na, gano'ng kahirap na pinagdaanan mo sa buhay, pag hindi ka sumuko, manalo ka. Hope is what the victors represent. But here, since you're going to pit 24 victors against each other and kill like 23 of them, then you're killing that symbol of hope. And then now, it's like you're sending a message that even if you have hope, I still control it. I can still crush your hope. So it's it's politically, and like it's a mental game for Snow. It's like he is manipulating the games, and by doing that, he's manipulating the people in the districts. And again, it's what parang wala silang choice. The people of the capital are shouting to stop the games, but they didn't. It's like the government, it's like the government, Panem's government, that does not care of what the of what is good, and they don't listen to their people. And that's one thing that the government think should think of, like um ano ba yung makakabuti sa tao, sa nasasakupan natin. Like they're not thinking of that. It's like just for entertainment. It's a fear tactic. It's it ano mo yun, parang it's very dark, politically dark. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on about the political aspect of this, but there's one thing that I'm going to convey. As of now, Catching Fire and Hunger Games is very consistent in one message, and it's sending one clear message. It's this is what happens if all of the power is in the hands of the government and not in the people. Because if all of the power is in the government, they there's a possibility that they will abuse it. And we see it in Catching Fire and Hunger Games. And it should be a lesson to us that we should value our say. Like, at least in my country, we get to say who we want because we cast votes. Here in the world of Panem, they do not have that right. So we should be grateful, and we should protect that right that we have. Or else, in the future, maybe not now, but maybe hundreds of years from now, or 50 years from now, then maybe the the games or the things that we read here might come true. Mm. Well, it's all about our decisions at the end. So yun. So that's my thoughts about Catching Fire, the second book of the Hunger Games trilogy. And on the next video, I'm going to talk about the Mockingjay. And if Hunger Games and Catching Fire is dark, Mockingjay is way, way darker than the two books. And I hope you like this video, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye!